If you repeat these 7 phrases every day, you will see how your mindset changes completely. But be careful, because if you ignore number 5, you may be sabotaging your own growth without even realizing it. Ready to discover them? Watch until the end, because the last phrase is the key that Stoics use to face any problem. 1. I only control my actions. Imagine you get insulted on the street. Most people would react with anger, seeking an aggressive response. But Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said that no one can harm you without your permission. This phrase reminds us that we are the only ones responsible for how we react to external stimuli. If you repeat this phrase every day, you will start focusing only on what you can control: your actions, your thoughts, and your attitude. You stop wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable, such as others' opinions or external circumstances. This awareness is liberating because it allows you to be the master of your own well-being, regardless of what happens around you. Would you like to apply this to your daily life? Imagine the power of not letting yourself be dragged by anger, frustration, or anxiety. How would your life change if you were in control of your reactions? 2. Nothing is as serious as my mind tells me. How many times have you exaggerated a problem in your mind? We all do it. Often, worry and fear make us see problems as bigger than they really are. Epictetus, another great Stoic thinker, said that we do not suffer from events, but from the way we interpret them. Life constantly presents us with obstacles, but it is our perception of those obstacles that determines our suffering. Next time you worry about something, stop and repeat this phrase: nothing is as serious as my mind tells me. This doesn't mean that problems don't exist or that you shouldn't face them, but it is a reminder to put things into perspective. Have you ever worried so much about something, only to realize later that it wasn't so bad? This is the key to reducing anxiety and stress. By changing how we interpret events, we can start living with more peace of mind. If you've ever overcome an obstacle that seemed insurmountable, you know exactly how it feels to turn a challenge into an opportunity for growth. What lesson did you learn from your last obstacle? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to know how you overcame it. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like and share it with someone who needs to remember that obstacles are just the path to success. 3. I don't live to please anyone. One of the greatest sources of suffering in our lives is the desire to please others. We think happiness is found in external acceptance, in what others think of us, but the truth is that the only opinion that matters is ours. The Stoics taught that we should not live to meet others' expectations. Living according to our own values and principles is the path to freedom. How many times have you made decisions out of fear of what others would think? Maybe you opted not to follow your true passion, not to express your ideas, or to settle for a life that isn't yours. But the Stoics teach us to free ourselves from that need for approval. Imagine how liberating it would be to live according to your own principles, regardless of what others think. This is the kind of freedom the Stoics promoted, and I invite you to consider how you could start living like that. Authenticity is one of the keys to living a fulfilling life. For every obstacle is an opportunity. Often, when we face a challenge, our first reaction is to see the problem as a barrier that stops us from moving forward. But Marcus Aurelius, one of the wisest philosophers of ancient Rome, said that obstacles do not stop the path, obstacles are the path. That is, you should not see problems as something to avoid, but as an opportunity to learn, grow, and strengthen yourself. This Stoic view invites us to change our relationship with difficulties. Instead of fearing them or lamenting over them, we should accept them as part of the life process. Obstacles are disguised opportunities, lessons that allow us to train our resilience. Have you ever overcome an obstacle that seemed insurmountable at the time? Looking back, you probably learned something valuable from that experience. That's why next time you face a challenge, instead of quitting, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This perspective completely changes the way we face problems. 5. I don't cling to anything. Detachment is one of the most powerful Stoic principles. Stoics believe that everything in life is temporary: people, money, relationships, and even our own existence. We live in a world where everything is transient, and if we cling to things, people, or expectations, we are doomed to suffer when they disappear. The practice of detachment allows us to live with more lightness and less fear. If you learn to let go, the fear of losing disappears. It's not about being indifferent or not valuing things, but learning not to be emotionally dependent on them. Stoics taught that true freedom lies in needing nothing outside of yourself to be happy. Can you imagine what it would be like to live without clinging to anything? Without fear of losing what you have? This is the path to inner peace. 6. Today could be your last day. The reminder of death is not pessimism, but an invitation to live fully. Stoics taught us to reflect on our mortality, because by doing so, we realize how precious each opportunity in life is. Memento mori, remember you will die, reminds us that life is short and we should make the most of each moment as if it were the last. This reminder shouldn't lead us to despair, but to a deep gratitude for life. If today were your last day, would you be proud of how you lived it? This phrase invites us to make conscious decisions and not postpone our goals or dreams. Living with the awareness that life is fleeting can motivate us to do the things that truly matter. 7. I am stronger than I think. The last phrase is undoubtedly the most powerful of all. When you face a challenge, repeat, I am stronger than I think. Stoics were not born indestructible. They became strong by facing adversity. They understood that difficulties are part of life, and that true strength is forged in the fire of adversity. We all have a greater capacity within us than we think. Sometimes we just need a reminder that we are capable of overcoming anything life throws at us. Life is not easy, but if you repeat this phrase every day, you will begin to discover strengths in yourself that you never imagined. Stoics didn't fear challenges because they knew adversity was the best school for personal growth. 8. Happiness does not depend on what I have, but on what I am. Stoics believe that true happiness does not come from material wealth or external circumstances, but from how we relate to ourselves. Inner peace and satisfaction arise when we understand that we are enough as we are, without needing anything else to feel complete. Have you ever stopped to think that true wealth lies within you? By repeating this phrase every day, you will start finding happiness in who you are, not what you have. Now, I invite you to reflect on each of these phrases and how you might start applying them to your life. If you repeat these phrases every day, you will not only change your mindset, but you will begin to live more fully, free of anxiety and with a greater sense of purpose. If you're ready to change your mindset and start applying these powerful Stoic principles to your life, leave us a comment with which of these phrases you will repeat every day. I want to know what your daily mantra will be. And if this video inspired you, don't hesitate to like and share it with friends who also want to transform their lives. Remember, change starts from within. See you in the next video.